To the Boomer Briefing Podcast. We are here to help you solve critical business issues in 20 minutes or less. I'm your host, Sandra Wiley, president at Boomer Consulting, and with me today is Shannon Hammons. Hi, Shannon, and thank you so much for being on this episode of the podcast.
Hi, thank you for the opportunity. I'm so excited about it.
So Shannon, tell me a little bit about you, where you're from, what you do. Tell me a little bit about you before we get started here.
Yeah, so I'm located here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I've not really spread my wings too far from a standpoint of like where I've lived. Oklahoma's my home, and I've lived in about a 30-mile radius of Tulsa. Lived and worked in about a 30-mile radius of Tulsa. I currently live in a small town just north of Tulsa, and so we call it La La Land. We have 10 acres. My husband and I, our children are grown and doing wonderful things. So we have two girls and a boy who are, we're very proud of. We also have two grandchildren that, just make life special. So yeah, I've been in HR the majority of my career. I always say to people that HR found me. I started out with a degree in finance, and through life, work, and getting started, I started out in payroll, and then over time took on more and more responsibilities in HR and found out that I loved it. It gives me a balance between the analytical piece of data-driven decisions, but also the human element of being able to be with people, to work through problems, to help them, and I feel like helping is my calling.
I love that, and it sounds like your background and your professional unique abilities fit within accounting really well, because it's the analytical piece, which we all know is such a big part of our world, but also the human side, which we sometimes don't know that that's such a big deal. So that's exciting. That's very exciting. And you're with the firm of Hogan Taylor. So tell me a little bit about Hogan Taylor.
Yes, so I've been with Hogan Taylor for about 8 years now, and we are a large regional firm here in Oklahoma and in Arkansas. We have 4 offices in Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Little Rock, and Fayetteville. And we are CPAs and advisors. We've expanded our approach beyond just compliance related services like tax and insurance to advisory services. We currently provide services around IT consulting, HR consulting, and risk assurance, employee benefit plans, a lot of variety in what we do here at Hogan Taylor.
I love that. Your firm is so well respected, and one of the reasons that it's well respected is because when I hear you talk about, or anybody from your firm talk about the firm, they always seem to lead with people first. And so that led me to asking you to help us talk a little bit about people first culture. So when you hear me say that, and when you talk about that, or when you think about that, what comes to mind for you when you think about a people first culture?
Yeah. For me, it starts back before I even joined the firm. When I made the decision to make a change, and I started telling people that I was going to be coming over to Hogan Taylor, everyone I talked to said, "Oh, you're going to love working there. They have great people." And over the last 8 years, Hogan Taylor has definitely lived up to that reputation. In some companies, they're known for the products that they produce, but in our industry, we are known for who we are, and that's really the talent that we have within our organization and the people who make up our firm. And so we recognize that, we emphasize the importance of our people and how they really make an impact on both our clients and our communities and who we are as individuals.
I love that. And with today's world where we're spending so much time on learning and development, we're spending a lot of time on recruiting and trying to keep the people we have, that employee experience piece. I think that that's a part of who everybody should be. I'm not sure they all are, right? So when we think about all the different firms out there, 40 some thousand firms, probably not everybody is where Hogan Taylor is, but I'm thrilled to know that's a part of your normal strategy. So
Yeah.
when you think about specific strategies that Hogan Taylor has employed to try to really not just talk, people first culture, but to actually implement people first culture, what do you think are some of the things that are happening there at Hogan Taylor that you could share with the audience about specific strategies you're taking?
Yeah, I think it starts for us with the concept that we have in our people strategy called one size fits one. And what that means is that we see each person as being uniquely talented with their own unique abilities. And our goal is to help them not only understand and appreciate those unique abilities, but be able to bring their best to work each day. So we do that in a variety of different ways. I think, for me, it starts with leadership. And I have the opportunity of working with some of the best leaders that are out there. One of the ways that they lead is with leading with positive intent. And what that means is, we go into each situation and circumstance, whether that's, a celebration or a conflict, assuming that people want to be successful, that they want to make a difference, and that they see their piece of being a part of the process or being a part of the whole as more important than just being an individual. And so, as you put all that together, that just gives us an opportunity to be able to focus on, how can we help them? How can we help them succeed? How can we look at the circumstance and the situation from a standpoint of being able to, target opportunities for ownership and being able to instill trust with them. When we go into it looking at from a place of this person wants to be their best, how do we help them be their best and just focus on the support that we can give them by giving them, that ownership and trust. We know that ownership and trust are really important qualities in a good leader, and we feel like good leaders are important to strong teams. We also do that through what you were saying around growth and development. A lot of the people that come to Hogan Taylor are coming to us straight from campus, and so they're just learning what it means to be a part of accounting and accounting industry. So we take an approach of helping them gain a better understanding of their skill set, developing their skill set, knowing that they're going to be leaders someday. And within our firm, we have a lot of great leaders in all positions. So our goal is to help them be the best that they can be, whether that's as a professional within Hogan Taylor, or whether that's, someday being a CFO within industry where we know that they're going to be at a client we serve. So, we feel like we're giving back to the community in that way. And when we elevate our people, our clients, and our communities, we're living out our mission, which is just that, to elevate our clients, our communities, and our people with remarkable service. So it's all we give, but we receive. We do that growth and development through a career development program, and it's a very robust program that focuses in on coaching for people. We couple them with a career advisor and a talent advisor, and their career advisor and talent advisor work with them on a ongoing basis to make sure that they have goals that they're setting that are helping them meet their career aspirations, so that they have ongoing coaching that they need to help work through issues and get the needed support that they need, and then also to give them honest and candid feedback to help them be their best and to be successful. So it's not just about an intention or a hope for them. It really puts it into place on an ongoing basis, and we've transitioned to that. In 2018, it's been really helpful and beneficial to our firm. We built our career development program with Clifton Strengths. So we felt like Clifton Strengths really aligned well with that unique abilities and one size fits one approach. It's given us a common language to talk through to help people understand their uniqueness and their talents. It helps them to like uncover them and really appreciate them. Like sometimes people don't appreciate their talents in the way that they should. And then it also gives resources to our career advisors and talent advisors to be able to be effective coaches and help those our folks, maximize their contribution on a daily basis. I think the last thing that I would say is that, when we think about work, we know that people bring their whole self to work. It's not just like, I'm one person at home and I'm another person at work. And so we want to fully support that person. The way in which we go about doing that is a variety of different ways. We have really structured wellness programming, but we know that work-life balance doesn't really exist in public accounting. It's just not our industry. So instead, we try to aim for work-life harmony, where we integrate work into our lives in a way that is, beneficial for everyone, and it allows us to kind of work through agreements with people of like what is their needs, how can we provide them the flexibility that they need through remote work, through what we call flexible work arrangements, whether that be part-time hours or specific arrangements that meet their needs. And then we have really robust PTO policies, and we put families first with our family policies as well.
Wow. Gosh, that's a lot. I mean, you're doing so many really great things. One of the things that popped into my mind as you were talking through everything was, how are you making sure that your leaders, managers, supervisors are really holding true to that intentional one-to-one, bring your good intentions? We believe that people come to a conversation, whether it's positive or challenging, with good intentions. How do you hold your people managers, or your people, right? The people that are leading, how do you hold them accountable to that, or teach them and train them in that way? Because that is I feel like that's very different than a lot of other CPA firms out there. So how do you hold them accountable to that?
Yeah, I would say we recognize that people need support at all levels. So our talent advisor relationships with our career advisors is a really important process, part of the process. Sometimes people elevate to management positions because they were good individual contributors and they did the work well. Not every person is a people person or knows how to deal with these situations as they come up. So there's a couple of things that we do to help prepare people for those roles. It's not everybody's role. Like, we don't automatically say you have to be a career advisor. We try to align people around the things that they do well, and we try to limit the number of career advisees that career advisors have so that they are not overwhelmed and don't have the time to devote. And then we couple that with a talent advisor who helps them focus in on, the tough and tricky things, but also to stay focused on, if we do get to a place of, whether it's schedules or time or work, where we're making sure that we're using strategic focus in our check-ins. Our career advisors do check in with their employees on an ongoing basis, but we use this what we call these strategic check-ins. That's 3 times a year to kind of take a step back. We focus in on goal setting, we give them feedback and follow up on their goals, and we really make the conversation about them, about where they're at, and how we can help them succeed in their career aspirations.
I love that. And I know there are more firms that are moving toward that, career advisors, talent advisors, but you were a leader in that area. So congratulations on that, because I think that's really cool.
We hate to interrupt, but what great insights from Shannon and Sandra. As always, our Boomer Briefing podcast is 20 minutes or less. So listeners, if you're enjoying their conversation, tune in next Tuesday morning for the conclusion of their chat. The Boomer Briefing podcast is released every Tuesday morning, and we like to rotate the topics and themes, but the common theme among all episodes is that we believe they are critical to your firm's growth and success. So please subscribe, and thanks for listening.